Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is April 13th. Dodgers, Padres, and Braves are hot. New York, not so hot. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? We are getting into the baseball season more and more as weeks go by, as games and series, and I've been loving it. I hope you guys have been enjoying the ride as well here. Feeling a lot better today, voice-wise, and hopefully good enough to get through this episode. So, with that being said, let's not waste any time and jump right on into our series recap. We start with the Giants and the Oilers. Willy Adames and Young-Ho Lee both homer for the Giants in a 6-3 victory. Gunnar hits his 6th of the year, while Jeremiah Jackson goes deep, his first of the year, a 6-2 Baltimore win. And in that road match, Samuel Bassell, his 2nd home run of the year. It's a 2-run shot, helping Baltimore to another 6-2 victory as they take 2 of 3 from the Giants. The Yankees and the Rays. Yandy Diaz ties the game in the first with a 2-run home run. Chandler Simpson drives in 2 runs. The Rays take a 5-3 victory. Austin Wells hits his first home run of the year. Yandy would tie it with an RBI single in the 8th. This one goes to extras, where Aranda hits a weak ball to Jazz, who bobbles it, rushes to throw to first, but it's not in time as Aranda walks it off. 5-4 Tampa. And in the last game, the Rays are up 3 in the 9th. Aaron Judge, a 2-run homer, makes it a 1-run game, but the Yankees run out of time. They get swept by the Rays in the Trop, as it is still a trap there. 5-4 the final there. Twins and Blue Jays. After going down 4 early, the Jays bats come alive with 5 runs in the 4th, capped off by the first Major League home run from Brandon Valenzuela, a go-ahead 2-run shot. The Jays score 10 unanswered, including Dalton Varsho's 100th career MLB home run, 10 for Blue Jays. Brooks Lee homers in a 7-run inning for the Twins. They scored those in the 3rd, which was all they needed. 7 for Minnesota. And in that last game, Tristan Gray, Cody Clemens, they both homer for the Twins. 8-2 the final. The Twins take 2 of 3 from the Blue Jays. Marlins and Tigers. Javier Baez's first home run of the season was a ball outside of the zone that he somehow pulled. 2-0 Tigers in the opener. Riley Green, his first home run of the year. The next day, a 3-run shot, helping Detroit to a 6-1 lead. And in that last game, Dylan Dingler, a 3-run shot. Kevin McGonigal, his first ever MLB home run off of Sandy Alcantara. Kerry Carpenter also homers for the Tigers as they sweep the Marlins 8-2 the final. White Sox and Royals played a 4-game set, and a lot of it was a bunch of 2-0 games. The White Sox won the first game 2-0. Then the Royals won the second game 2-0 as Carter Jensen continues his post-league tear with a 4th homer on the year. Then the Royals won the 3rd game also with a score of 2-0. Michael Garcia hitting the home run for the Royals in that one. Tanner Murray hits his first MLB home run in the last game, and Colson Montgomery, a go-ahead 2-run shot, his 3rd of the year. The White Sox win it 6-5 and split the 4-game set with the Royals 2 apiece. Astros and Mariners now. Randy Arozarena, his first home run this year. The Mariners poured on late, 4 runs in the 7th. 9-6 Seattle, the final in this one. Cal starts scoring with a 2-run home run, but the Astros proceed to score 7 unanswered, including Jordan Alvarez homering on back-to-back days. The Mariners then proceed to score 5 in the 5th to tie it up, capped off by our first Julio home run of 2026, ties this one up. It would stay like that until the end, when J.P. Crawford hits the walk-off single in the 9th, winning it for the Mariners 8-7 the final. And in that last game, the 3rd game, I guess, Luke Raley caps off the game, a 2-run double, adding on to a 6-1 Mariners win. They look for the 4-game sweep today on Monday. A's and Mets now. The A's up 1 in the 9th, add 3 insurance runs from McNeil and Denzel Clark to secure the opener 4-0 A's. Bo Bichette and Jorge Polanco both hitting their first home runs as a Met Tyler Soderstrom and Carlos Cortez both hitting their first home runs of the season as well. And for Soderstrom, he hits a second home run in this game, a 3-run home run late, pushes this one out of reach. 5 RBIs for Soderstrom, 11-6 A's the final. And then in the last game, the only run of the game came off the bat of the Big Amish, Nick Kurtz, his first homer of the season. 1-0 A's the final as they sweep the Mets. D-backs and Phillies, Brandon Marsh hits a home run to put the Phillies up by 4. The D-backs come back though, scoring 5 runs in the 5th to take a 5-4 victory in the opener. Tied at 2 in Game 2, Schwarber and Harper hit back-to-back homers. That puts the Phillies up and lead them to a 4-3 victory. And in the road match, the D-backs scored 2 in the 8th, 1 to tie it and 1 to take the lead on an Adrian De Castillo single. 4-3 Arizona. The D-backs take 2 of 3 from the Phils. Guardians and Braves now. Manzardo, his first home run of the year, as was Ronald Acuna Jr., who goes deep for the first time in 2026. Matt Olson hits his 4th, and Michael Harris II hits his 2nd. Those 3 homers made 6 runs in the 6th for the Braves. They went on to win it 11-5. Jose Ramirez, he hits a homer against the Braves. He's now homered against all other MLB teams minus the Guardians. Of course, the Guardians take a 6-0 victory in that game. And in the road match, it wasn't much of a game. Dominic Smith, he would homer for the Braves. They score 4 runs in the 5th, score 4 more in the 8th. It was all Atlanta. 13-1 the final. Nats and Brewers now tied up at 3 in the 9th. Nationals score 4 runs and stamp a Game 1 victory, 7-3. James Wood drives in 2 on a double, which is all they needed in a 3-1 Nats win. And in that last game, Bryce Terang, a 2-homer game. Gary Sanchez homers, Jake Bauers homers. But just because the Brewers out-homered the Nats doesn't mean the Nationals couldn't find a way to sweep this series, as James Wood goes yard. The Nationals score 4 in the 7th to tie and score 2 in the 8th to take the lead. 8-6 the final. The Nationals sweep the Brewers. Pirates and Cubs now. The only runs of Game 1 came on a Brian Reynolds 2-run home run for a 2-0 Pirates win. In Game 2, the Cubs came back from down 3 to tie it in the 9th on a Bregman single. The Pirates would score in the 11th on a soft ground ball from Brandon Lau and hold it for the Cubs to lose. Pirates win a 4-3 game in the 11th inning. And in that last game, O'Neal Cruz hits his 5th home run of the season. Brandon Lau hits a grand slam for his 4th home run, and then a 2nd home run later on in this game for his 5th homer of the season. But the Cubs get homers from Dansby Swanson and Moises Ballesteros. They stayed in this one, tying the game in the 8th on a Michael Busch 2-run single. They would then walk it off in the 9th on a Carson Kelly single. The big comeback win for the Cubs to avoid the sweep, 7-6 the final in that one. Angels and Reds, Zach Neto, Josh Lowe, both homer, as does Jorge Soler in grand slam fashion. 10-2 Halos in the opener. The Reds score 4 in the 1st in Game 2. They added next inning with Spencer Steer going deep, eventually winning it 7-3. And in the last game, the Angels scored 9 unanswered runs while Jose Soriano was pitching. And once he left in the 8th inning, the Reds were able to score 6 unanswered, including a 3-run home run from Ellie De La Cruz. It's a good thing the Angels scored 9 before their 9-6 Halos. They win the series. Red Sox and Cardinals. The Cardinals score 2 in the 5th. That takes the lead, and they hold on to a 3-2 victory. In a 2-1 game in the 9th, the Red Sox added 5 insurance runs to secure that win. 7-1 the final, and in their other match, Jordan Walker hits his league-leading 7th home run. Jarren Duran hits a bases-clearing double, though, for the Red Sox to put this game out of reach. 9-3 Boston, taking 2 of 3 from the Cardinals. Rockies and Padres, they played 4. After both teams only scored 1 run through the 9 innings, they went to extras where both the Padres and Rockies scored a run in the 10th and in the 11th. But after the Rockies didn't score in the 12th, they chose to pitch to Bogaerts, walking the bases loaded, hoping to get this one to the 13th inning. But instead, we return to slam Diego Xander Bogaerts, a walk-off grand slam. Wins the first of 4 for the Padres in 12 innings, 7-3. Gavin Sheets and Luis Campusano both hit their first home runs of 2026, and after the Rockies tied this game up, Sheets was in a position in the ninth to hit a 3-run walk-off home run, his second of the game, and back-to-back walk-off home runs from the Padres, 5-2 the final in that one. Mickey Moniak hits a 2-homer game in Game 3. Eduardo Julien, his first homer of the year for the Rockies, but Machado and Laureano both homer for the Padres as they score 9 unanswered to win it 9-5. And in that last game, Ty France homers, Ramon Laureano homers, Jackson Merrill homers. The Padres win it 7-2, and they take a 4-game sweep over the Rockies, which leads us lastly to the Rangers and the Dodgers, and this series starts off on an explosive note. 7 combined home runs, including 3 from Max Muncy alone, and that third one was a walk-off winner, an exciting 8-7 Dodgers victory. In Game 2, Brandon Nimmo, a 2-homer game for him. Ohtani, though, a leadoff homer for the Dodgers. Teoscar hit a 3-run home run, leading the Dodgers to a 6-3 victory. And in the last game, it's another leadoff home run from Ohtani. Evan Carter, his second home run of the series and of the year, helped the Rangers to avoid the sweep of the Dodgers, winning that game 5-2 for your series recap. Moving on now, we have our game of the weekend, and it's very easy going to LA for the Rangers and the Dodgers. Game 1 of this series, bottom second, Max Muncy hits his second home run of the year. A solo shot makes it 1-0 LA, and it was just the start. Top of the third with 2 on, Corey Seager hits his 4th of the year. A 3-run shot puts Texas up in front 3-1. Bottom 4, it's Max Muncy again, his second home run of the game. Another solo shot puts the Dodgers within 1. Top 5, Wyatt Langford, his first home run of 2026 as he gets Texas back into a 2-run lead. It's 4-2. Bottom 5, the Dodgers add 1 right away. Hai-Sung Kim, a sac fly, puts it as a 1-run game. Then with 2 on, it's Andy Pages who gets a 2-run double to put the Dodgers in front in this one, 5-4. In his next at-bat in the bottom of the 8th, he hits a 2-run shot, his 4th home run of the year, as Pages makes it a 3-run game for the Dodgers. Top 9, Edwin Diaz out looking for the save, but runs into problems as Evan Carter hits a 2-run shot, his first of 2026, puts the Rangers within 1, and then Ezekiel Duran, he gets an RBI single later in the inning that ties the game up at 7. It's the first blown save of the year for Diaz. Not the best look, but it did not matter because up stepped Max Muncy, connecting for his 3rd solo shot home run of the game. All 3 were solo shots, but 3 homers, 4 on the year. It's a walk-off winner for the Dodgers, 8-7 the final. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your game of the weekend. A very exciting game. For sure, and that helped the Dodgers be the first team to reach 10 wins on the season. They're off to a very nice start, as you would expect from the reigning champions. They're now 11-4 on the year, and just one of the 3 teams to have gotten 10 wins. A game and a half behind them is the Padres in that division, as well as the Braves in the NL East, who, by the way, for Atlanta, not only do they have the best run differential in baseball at plus 46, but so far through what is now, 5 series we've had of the year, they're the only team yet to lose a series. That is right. They're the only team to have not won their series. They are 10-6. And they're off to the start that we thought they were going to get, even with some of the injuries that they still have. Philly's been kind of lackluster, as have been the Mets. The Nationals have been surprising, as the Marlins, but that's the difference between 2 good teams and 2 teams that are more surprising, and what it means for the Braves as they lead the NL East by 2 games. But we can talk about that a little bit more into the standings check that will come later in this episode. But yeah, the Dodgers, Braves, and Padres are off to those hot starts that they've been looking for. The Padres, it's staying in tune with the Dodgers. I mean, a game and a half back, 5-game winning streak, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. So you kind of need the Dodgers to slip up. And guess what? They're the big bad Dodgers. They're not going to slip up as easily as you'd think. So, Padres, what you can do, keep winning your games and hoping that the Dodgers will eventually slip up, or wait until you guys have a series together. I'm not sure when that is the case. Let's do a quick check here on the Dodgers and Padres in 2026, because we're all waiting for it, and we're going to have to wait for at least a month here, if not longer, just about a month. The Padres and Dodgers will face each other for the first time on May 18th. This will be in San Diego. So until then, we'll see how close the Dodgers and Padres will stay within one another, and we'll see which AL team will get hot first. No AL team has yet to win 10 games, and right now the Twins and Guardians are at 9-7, leading the way. That is pretty crazy, to say the least, that the Twins and Guardians right now are your two teams to potentially win 10 games today. So we'll keep an eye on that here. The big thing to talk about in today's episode comes at the bat of Jordan Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Walker's off to a flying start here in 2026. Already 7 home runs. He leads the league. He leads the league. Is that what I said? He leads the league in home runs with 7, but he's just off to a much better start than any of his previous seasons. If you remember back when he was, I believe, 20 years old, getting the call in 2023, he got into a fair share of games, 117 games that year, picked up 116 hits with 16 home runs, batting at .276 with a .787 OPS. Not bad for a rookie year, but nothing, that popped off the page there. Into his sophomore season, it was even worse. Of course, didn't get a full season, wasn't very healthy, and when he was also in AAA because he was just not hitting the ball in the air, inducing a lot of ground balls, a lot of double plays, just wasn't very effective. Only ended up in 51 games with 33 hits, batting to a .201 batting average and a .619 OPS, hitting only 5 home runs. Last year, he was around a little bit more, 111 games, but he collected only 78 hits, including just 6 home runs in 363 at-bats. He only had 6 home runs last year, a .215 batting average and a .584 OPS. It just wasn't cutting it, but so far this year, across just 55 at-bats, he already has 1 more home run than he did all of last year. 6 home runs through 363 at-bats compared to 7 home runs through 55 at-bats. This is the Jordan Walker that the Cardinals have been waiting to see. This is the Jordan Walker that the Cardinals have expected to see since he got called up in 2023. He's batting .327 with a 1.139 OPS. He's got a .745 slug, 14 RBIs, 6 walks. He's just been a very productive bat for the Cardinals. Last year, across those 111 games, he accumulated negative 1.7 WAR. So far through 15 games, he has a positive 1.4. He's almost made up the 111 games last year in just 15 games this year. That's how good Walker has been. And if you want to figure out why, a lot has changed this year compared to last year. A lot of ground balls. We mentioned that in the last 2 seasons, in 24 and in 25. That's the reason they got sent down in the first place. His ground ball rate in the last 2 seasons was around 48% of the time, meaning when he hit the ball, almost half of the time it was on the ground. So far this year, that has dropped down to 34.2%. We always knew Walker had that high bat speed capability, like a lot of the great players in the game do have, a lot of the great home run hitters. Guys like O'Neal Cruz, Junior Caminero, Aaron Judge, Nick Kurtz, Kyle Schwarber. All of these guys have very high bat speeds like Jordan Walker, so why was he so much of an outlier? His batting stance has changed almost every single year he's been in the big leagues. What started in 23 with a very closed off stance, opened in 2024, then was so wide in 2025. Part of the reason why his struggles were such uh, at the highest rate we've seen, of course, in the 3 seasons, it's just been a decline each and every single year. So far this year, his stance is a little bit more closed off and a lot less wide. His stance last year was very wide between where his back foot was planted and his left foot was. Now it's much more closer to. And what has that resulted in? Well, he's getting a lot more barrel percentage and bat to ball skills, which is elevating those balls. When you take a look at last year, his barrel percent was 10.9. So much of the time he was getting on top of the baseball, shoving it into the ground, causing so many of those ground balls. So far this year, instead of 10.9, it's all the way up to 26.3. And that is causing the fly balls. It is causing that dramatic switch in his stuff and his max elevation. His exit velocity is much higher. That barrel per plate appearance was 6.6 in 2025 and is now 16.4. And yes, it's very early, into the year here. But when you look at his percentile rankings in 2025, all these are coming from Baseball Savant. His K percentage was 3rd percentile. His whiff percentage was in the 1st percentile. His expected batting average and slugging were in the bottom 20 percentiles of all of baseball, but yet he still had that 99 percentile bat speed. It just wasn't working out. He was 6th percentile in batting run value. So far this year, he is in the 100th percentile value in batting run value, in the expected batting average, in expected slugging, in barrel percentage. He's the 99th percentile in hard hit percentage. It's still in bat speed. His K percentage is way down. His whiff percentage is way down. Basically, everything that you'd want to be down is down, and everything you'd want to be improving has improved, and all that really does come from what he's been able to do, which has been letting more and more balls just get into the air and causing less ground balls. What ground balls does is leads to ground outs. It leads to double plays. It leads to very bad things happening and negatively impacting your team. So far this year, he's not doing that, and he's been a real star and a real shine piece for the Cardinals. And what I said at the beginning of the year, which was going to be a very disappointing year for the Cardinals, so far through 2 weeks essentially, I mean, it could be going better for you guys. You guys are in the hunt, technically. You're sitting 3rd, 4th in the division. And you have your prospect that you had so much potential for and so much hope for back in 2023 now really starting to shine and make that case. And remember what I said about that bat speed. He goes on the lines of some of the best, like Judge and Kurtz and Schwarber in these home run hitters. He was just hitting the ball on the ground too much. Still hit the ball hard, just led to so much outs. If he's able to start pulling that ball higher in the air, a lot of good things are going to come for him this season. And like I said, he's already up to 7 home runs this year. His best was 16 that he hit in his rookie year in 2023. At the rate we're at right now, he's going to pass that come mid-May. Like at the very latest. So he's on a great tear right now, great path. And hopefully for his sake, he's able to keep it up. Big shout out Jerome Walker. He's off to a flying start in 2026. And especially when you compare it to his last couple of seasons, he is making a case for a real breakout candidate here in 2026. Let's move on now. Not much else happened this week. You had the whole Jazz thing with forgetting the rules. I'm not going to bother talking about that. I mean, it's just not worth it. I think Jazz is just saying words here. Let's get into the hot and colds from the week. And who do you expect to be the hottest player from this week? Well, of course, it's the guy we just spent 6 minutes talking about, Jordan Walker, 7 for 20, 4 home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 runs, a 1.359 OPS. He was fantastic, as was James Wood from the Nationals, 10 for 19 with 3 doubles, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 6 runs, 4 walks, a 1.625 OPS. Angel Martinez from the Guardians also was 10 for 21, two doubles, a homer, 6 RBIs, 4 runs, a 1.190 OPS. Bryce Harper getting his 2026 kind of started here, 7 for 15, two doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, 2 runs, 5 walks, and a 1.400 OPS. Much better second week than that first week. Jeff McNeil rounds off the hot players from the week, 10 for 21, three doubles, 2 RBIs, 3 runs, and a 1.119 OPS for him. On to the cold side of things, Munetaka Murakami has slowed down this week. He's 1 for 17 with 9 strikeouts. Jake Berger, 1 for 20 with 5 Ks. Vinny P on this list, that sucks. 1 for 21 with 7 Ks. Hopefully he can start figuring things out for the Royals. Brady House, 2 for 20 with 6 Ks, and Adolis Garcia, 1 for 18 with 8 strikeouts. Not ideal for those players looking to turn it around here into week 3. As we take a look at the injury updates, which I feel like we just get more and more each week, and it's not like it's just like 2 or 3 guys. We've been getting a lot of big injuries here. Christian Javier on the 15-day IL for the Astros with a right shoulder strain, and he's not the only Astro. Jake Meyers on the 10-day IL with a strained oblique, Tatsuya Imai on the 15-day IL with arm fatigue, and Jeremy Pena on the 10-day IL with a strained hamstring. The Astros lost 4 players over the weekend here. George Springer from the Blue Jays on a 10-day IL with a fractured toe. The Blue Jays IL is up to, I think, 10 or 11 guys. Like, they are in a really tricky spot here. Kirk, Barger, Springer, 3 guys who bat in the top 5 of their lineup, all now on the IL. The A's lose Brent Rooker on the 10-day IL with a strained oblique after that tough, awkward swing against the Yankees. He's officially placed on the IL. The Twins are losing Royce Lewis. I mean, not a shock there. He's always on the IL, 10-day IL, sprained knee. So unfortunate for Lewis there. Not Jake Myers, Tyler O'Neill, he's on the 7-day IL for the concussion protocol. Jeremiah Estrada from the Padres, 15-day IL with elbow tendonitis. Marlins are losing Griffin Conine on the 10-day IL with a torn hamstring. The big blow, of course, Parker Meadows. We talked about his little collision with Riley Green in the outfield. We didn't know if he was going to be placed on the IL. We assumed that he was. It is official, 10-day IL. That night he spent in the hospital. Doctors revealed that he had a concussion, a broken bone in his left arm, as well as needed to get 5 stitches in his cheek. So Tigers will be without Parker Meadows for a decent bit, you have to assume. And then other things to note, Nick Pivetta, Kyle Freeland, and Christian Yelich, 3 guys who all left their games on Sunday, yesterday, with an injury during the game. No announcement on the ILs yet for those guys. But you could assume maybe something for Pivetta and Freeland, maybe Yelich, depending on how bad those injuries were. But we'll have to see when it's official. We'll probably talk about that if it is official come Friday's episode. That brings us to our outstanding performances from the week. There were some guys who shined, such as Randy Vasquez from the Padres, who threw 5 2/3, 7 hits, 1 earned run, no walks while striking out 8. How about Shota Emenaga from the Cubs? 6 innings of no-hit baseball. He had no earned runs, did 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. Very good start for him. The Royals in their new City Connect, they got guys who shine, such as Chris Bubich, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 11 Ks, as well as Michael Wacha, 8 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks. That's how the Royals won those 2 games 2-0, thanks to Bubich and Wacha. Keider Montero from the Tigers, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 7 Ks. How about Parker Messick? 6 2/3, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 5 Ks. Got their Guardians their lone win on the weekend. Ranger Suarez, a really good start for Boston. I think his best start so far this year for the Red Sox. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 6 Ks. Logan Gilbert was brilliant for the Mariners. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 7 Ks. How about Drew Rasmussen going 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and 7 Ks against the Yankees? And if there was a Cy Young award for 2 weeks of the season, Jose Soriano would definitely be getting it. His amazing start to the season continues. Each and every start he's had has been outstanding. This time, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and 10 strikeouts. He is 4-0. He has been fantastic for the Angels to start 2026. This will bring us now to our standings check here. And taking a look in the AL East, we've got a three-way tie at 8-7. The Rays, the Yankees, and the Oilers. The difference here is that the Rays are coming off a nice sweep of the Yankees. Baltimore taking 2 from the Giants, while the Yankees have not only been swept by the Rays, they are lost 5 straight going back to the series against the Athletics. Not very fun for the Yankees, who is starting off so hot at 8-2, have found a way to not win a game since being 8-2, are now 8-7 and are tied. Blue Jays and Red Sox, they sit 6-9, 2 games back of the rest there. AL Central, it's been a bit of a cluster show so far. It shocks me to say that the Twins and Guardians lead the way at 9-7. Royals and Tigers, 2 games back of them at 7-9 for both of them. White Sox at 6-10, just a game further back. Over on the AL West, it is still like the Central and like a lot of baseball has been. You have a good week, you have a bad week. That's been a lot of the MO for a lot of the teams so far this season. The Rangers have a very good week. They're up to 8-7 now, tied for first with the Athletics, who started really badly. They started 3-7 through their first 10. They went to New York to play both the Yankees and the Mets and went 5-6 against them and are on a 5-game winning streak. They lost that first game to the Yankees, but then beat the next 2 and then swept the Mets. They're now 8-7, tied with the Rangers. The Halos are at 500 at 8-8. Mariners and Astros were at the bottom of that pack there. But thanks to the Mariners taking so far 3 of that 4-game set against the Astros, they have been propelled into 4th place on a 3-game winning streak at 7-9, while the Astros just continue to blunder, starting the season 6-3, but have now lost 7 straight. Trying to avoid a 4-game sweep against the Mariners with a win today would be crucial for them, and tie with them. Both would be 7-10 here. If not, they'd go to 6-11. They're last in the West, but only by 2.5 games. So, we could be sitting on Friday, the Astros swept and the Rangers and Athletics got swept, and now the Astros are back in first. It's just neck and neck. It's so close early in the year here. In the NL East, the Braves yet to lose a series. They're at 10-6 and cruising. Marlins at 8-8, while the rest of the NL East is below 500. 7-8 Phillies, 7-8 Nationals, 7-9 Mets, who have lost 5 straight, like the Yankees. Both New York teams have lost 5 straight games right now. It is not fun to be in New York. The NL Central, the Pirates, 7-3 in their last 10. They're 9-6 on the year and are comfortably in first place by half a game because the Reds have played 1 extra game and have lost it. They're at 9-7. Cardinals and Brewers behind them at 8-7, while the Cubs are at 7-8. So it is very close and tight in that NL Central race so far there. Meanwhile, on the NL West, you have 3 teams that have been impressive and 2 teams that have been not so impressive. The Dodgers, of course, leading the way at 11-4. The Padres just behind them at 10-6. Diamondbacks, 2 games above 500. They're at 9-7, while the Giants and Rockies are tied for last in Major League Baseball at 6-10. Similar enough with the Astros and the White Sox. Those are the teams that are 6-10 here. When you take a look at the Dodgers with that best record at 11-4, while the White Sox, Astros, Giants, and what did I miss there? White Sox, Giants, Astros, and Rockies. Those 4 teams are at 6-10. The difference between the Dodgers and those 4 is 5.5 games. Yes, it's still early, but I feel like the last couple of seasons we've had 1 or 2 teams that have gone on this crazy start to the season, while 1 or 2 of these teams have gone to this really icy cold start to the season. This year, we really haven't had that. We've had teams that have had a good week and a bad week, teams that have had 2 good weeks, but we haven't had any teams that are off to like really slow starts. I mean, having every team already above 6 wins, no one's above 12 wins. Like it has very been a very close start to start the year. No one's kind of gone on these like 8 game winning streaks to start the season or anything. And if they have, I mean, they've counted it with like a 5 game losing streak. So it's all very tightly packed in. Yankees, Brewers, Mets all lost 5 straight. I didn't mention the Brewers. They've lost 5 straight, not going good. Astros, they've lost 7 straight, as I've mentioned. Meanwhile, your hot teams in baseball include the A's, who have won 5, and the Padres, who have won 5, helped getting that 4 game sweep over the Rockies. They are in the driver's seat. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your standings check, which brings us to our upcoming series from the week. What is in store? Well, we do have that 4th and final game between the Astros and Mariners to finish up that 4 game set. Mariners looking for that sweep over the Astros. Astros looking to salvage it with a win. But on to the other new series here. The Diamondbacks are in Baltimore to take on the Oilers. The Angels are going to New York to take the Yankees on. Red Sox at Twins. Rays on the road in Chicago for the White Sox. Royals at Tigers. They're going to be battling it out. That's a fun series there. Rockies at Astros, 2 teams that are struggling. Rangers at A's, both teams are first in the AL West. That's a fun one there. Marlins at Braves, first place in the NL East versus second place in the NL East. That's a good one. Cubs at Phillies, Nationals at Pirates, Guardians at Cardinals. That's a fun one there. Blue Jays at Brewers, the 2 teams that were the division winners of, or the league winners last year. The Blue Jays finished first in the AL. The Brewers finished first in the NL. They face each other off now. Giants at Reds and Mets at Dodgers. We also have the Mariners in San Diego to take on the Padres. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what is in store for this week. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our episode here today. I appreciate you all for tuning on in. Nothing crazy as we get into series number 6 on the year, I believe. We're getting into that as we continue through the month of April, nearly at the halfway point of the month, basically at the halfway point when you look back to that couple of days in March that we got first. But regardless, hopefully your favorite team is doing well. Do me a favor as the weather gets a little bit nicer, hopefully, depending on where you live. Go out to a game this week. There's a lot of good baseball in store. Your ace is probably on the mound at some point this week as well. So if your team is in town, go out, check out a game. Enjoy some popcorn, enjoy some hot dogs, get a nice refreshing drink, a nice refreshing beverage if you're of age, of course. But yes, I digress about that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, everybody, so much. And I will see you on Friday.